Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Um, we are, uh, I think we're about to go live here. So, anything you want to say before before we start? I know you can't see me, can you?
I can see you.
You can see me?
Yep.
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can see me through this camera now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Okay. Um, we're about to get going then.
Yeah. I'm ready whenever you are, bud. Are you meeting with your folks after I'm done, or is it just for my part?
I'm sorry. Say that again, Dave.
Is the meeting going longer than my part, or is it just for my part?
No, it'll just be you and me real quick here. So yeah, let me do one more thing and then we will be ready to go. Um, Sorry for the delay, man, and I appreciate your patience. We had a technical issue and everything crashed, and we had to start over, and then. But I was afraid I was running you out of time too.
Yeah. And if you have to table it, you have to table it. No big deal to me. But
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Um,
are you in your house, or where you at?
yeah, I've got a little studio I have in my house, and all right, here we go. Here we go. Live. All right, then we're gonna share that to the group. All right. Okay. All right. So, all right. You still there, Dave?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Excellent. Let's get going.
Yep.
Hey there, this is Justin Chamness, and if you've ever wondered what a title company does, or if you've ever had questions about a title company, well, now's your chance. We've got Dave Green from Accurate Title here to answer some questions for us and to give us a good base for what we should be thinking about when it comes to wholesaling and real estate investing and how the title company plays into all of those things. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with that. When I was a brand new wholesaler, I was basically kind of just completely ignorant of all things real estate wholesaling. I bought a real estate course off of eBay. It was a Ron LeGrand course, and that course was 99 bucks. And so for 99 bucks, I got a really good base knowledge. But one of the first things he says do is to build a relationship with a closing attorney or a title company. And when I first saw that, I thought, oh no, I was scared immediately because I saw the word attorney, and that freaked me out. So no offense to any attorneys that may be watching, but at any rate, I thought I'll just bypass this step and get right on to some of the other things, and I'll do that when it becomes important. But in time, I've learned and grown in my knowledge and have developed an appreciation for a good title company. So they really are important, and they really can help you as a brand new real estate wholesaler or a real estate investor get started off on the right foot in your area. And today, like I said, we do have Dave Green from Accurate Title here in Overland Park. I've developed a bit of a relationship with Dave over the last probably couple years. And, I get a call all the time. I get a text, an email from people all the time saying, "Hey, do you know a title company that can do assignments? Do you know a title company that can do double closes? Do you know a title company that can do, that's realtor or real estate investor friendly?" And of course I do. And in any conversation that I'm involved in that respect with other people, other investors in town, this gentleman's name comes up. And it's because he's really doing a great job over there. And so I thought he would be an excellent person to visit with about some simple questions, simple to him, but maybe you don't know, what he's going to share with us, and pick up a gold nugget, something that'll help your business go to the next level. So what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and add, I want to add Dave. There you are, sir.
Yes, I am.
Welcome to the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, and we might have a big audience today. We might not. We are syndicating out to a lot of different places, and a lot of folks might not be familiar with you at all. So why don't you just start out by sharing with us just briefly who you are and who Accurate Title is, and what you do.
Sure. So, like Justin said, I'm Dave Green with Accurate Title, located here at Overland Park or the Kansas City Metro. We do service the entire metro, or actually the entire states of Kansas and Missouri, in addition to the states of Nebraska and Colorado. Long story short, Accurate Title's been around for 15, 16 years. Kind of had the reputation or the impression of people that being an investor-friendly title company, that of which we are. More and more title companies are not becoming investor-friendly, for a variety of reasons. But we try to hold true to our client base and who we are, and try to service the investor market. I myself have had experience in this line of work all my life, growing up in Iowa, to my folks being a realtor and auctioneer, along with an abstractor, which is very similar to title up here. I got out of college. I joined a company in Omaha, a title company in Omaha, and one thing led to another, and here I sit today at Accurate Title.
I see.
Yeah. We kind of see and do it all in the investor market.
Yeah, that's great, Dave. Tell us what does a title company or a closing attorney do?
Sure. So in a nutshell, we protect your interests and rights to a property. We protect you from financial loss. We protect the ownership rights. Should there ever be a claim, that's what a title policy does. It protects you. We go to court and defend your rights, or protect your investment in the property, depending on what the scenario is. But long and short of it is we protect your rights and your financial interest in a property.
I see. This is a silly question, but is there a difference between a title company and an escrow company and a closing attorney? Because those words get tossed around a lot, especially in brand new wholesaler courses. And is it different by state, or what's the story there?
Absolutely. So here in the Midwest, and Kansas and Missouri obviously involved, but mainly in the Midwest as just a general overlay, the title and escrow company are one office. I point that out because you get out into the West Coast, like California, Arizona, they have separate companies. So one office is title, one office is escrow. And when I say escrow, that's a closing office. That's where you would go to close. Here, they're bundled into one office. So everything around here is Accurate Title Company, which is also the escrow company. So you come here to close, whereas if you go West Coast, they have title offices where you don't close, they have escrow offices where you do close. Bringing in the attorney, there are some states, mainly East Coast, but not all East Coast, where an attorney has to be present for closing. That's not true in our market, but there are some states that require an attorney to be present, whether that be in person or on the phone, that you cannot close without that, and there's no title insurance offered without that. Those are called attorney states.
I see.
Predominantly on the East Coast, not so much here.
And they all do pretty much the same thing. Is that right, Dave?
Yeah. So if you want to look at it, there's really two pieces to it. There's a title portion, and that's working on the title commitment, the title policy. And then there's an escrow portion, or the closing, which they're doing all your numbers. They're getting your payoffs. They're working through putting the settlement statement together and getting you closed. Title has to be done before you can kind of kick it over to the escrow.
I see. Well, let me ask you kind of a sticky topic question, if you don't mind, and that is sometimes when you're trying to do real estate investment or a wholesale deal, you're trying to pick up a property for a fix and flip or a landlord deal. Sometimes the seller or sometimes a wholesaler will want you to give them the earnest money directly. What do you think about that? What is the safest way, or should that ever be done?
Um, I would advise against that. I would advise running everything through title because you're going to close here anyway, and we really should control all funds, whether it's $10 earnest money or $10,000 earnest money. The main reason is you pay someone $100 bills or cash, prove it was for earnest money, and you can't. It's too hard. You're going to have to get an attorney, then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you get $5,000 in attorney fees for a $100 deposit. So I always tell people run it through the title company. We hold it into an escrow account, and so that's protected funds, and obviously that's credited towards your purchase price at closing. Um, do you have to? No. However, we don't know any different. And so if there's two sides of that story, we won't be able to close unless having all funds accounted for. So I always say run
Yes.
it through the title company.
Yes. That's you mean if I give money to just somebody off the street, then I might not get it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
And something you should know is, or everyone should know, our title companies work with certified funds only, whether that's generally talking for the purchase. So that's a wire, that's a cashier's check, that's a money order. Um, we will take a personal check for earnest money, but you can't bring in like $100 bills or a personal check to close. We have to have certified funds.
I see. Well, that's an excellent thing to know because it protects the wholesaler or it protects the real estate investor going in where they're not going to lose that initial earnest money unless they've obligated themselves to something in the contract that would require the seller to then get the earnest money. But I've had a lot of people ask me that question. Should I give this earnest money to the seller directly? And I agree with you, Dave. My response is always no. Put it in the title company because that's where it belongs. It's safe and it can be accounted for. I appreciate you explaining that to us. Can you explain the difference between assignments and double closings?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So I'll start with assignments. Assignment is in our office we call it the ABC parties. A being the seller, B being the middle person, C being who's going to buy the property at the end of the day. How those work are the B party, the wholesaler, assignor, they get a property under contract, they start their title work or they already line up an end buyer to assign that contract to. What they're doing is they're just assigning their rights and everything in that original contract to the C party or the buyer. Basically substituting themselves out for the C party. And generally, there's a fee markup there. So if the original contract was $10,000, the assignment's for 15. There's a $5,000 spread there for the assignor, the B party.
Yes.
The difference with that and double close are A to B closes itself. So B comes into title, person comes into title. They're on the deed. They pay a settlement fee. They have costs incurred. They then turn around and sell it to the C party through a separate transaction, and again, they'll have costs incurred. In my experience, people don't typically tend to do that because of they incur costs, whereas if you wholesale, you typically don't unless you're paying for, a closing fee or something on behalf of the buyer or seller. So a lot of people find it more advantageous to assign their rights or wholesale property versus do a double close.
Right.
What I've ran into with some folks is they don't understand. They want to do a transaction where they don't want their seller or their buyer to find out what they're making. Okay, so say they've gone for a home run,
Right.
so they don't. They're trying to basically elude what they're making from their buyer because it will be on the settlement statement if you're wholesaling.
Sure.
So they want to say, well, I want to close with A through a transaction, turn around and close with C. But they want B to C to fund A to B. That's not allowed. We do not do that. I'm not sure if anyone anymore allows that. But no, A to B,
Yeah.
if you want to do that, has to fully close, fund, and record before B to C can close.
Right.
We do that to keep funds separate, and so there's nothing being hidden or any chance of a ball being dropped. But again, that kind of circling back, that's why people tend to wholesale. They don't have any costs, but keep in mind the buyer will see your fee on the settlement statement.
Yes, and if it's a motivated seller, I'll just add on. They usually don't care that you're making some money. They just want the solution to their issues. Do all title companies do both assignments and double closes?
No. In fact, it's becoming harder to find companies that will do it. Um, some look at it as just not worth their time, and
Yeah.
and that's a business decision they make. They want to stick to the retail transactions, with the realtor involved in a traditional lender, um, be, because there's more cooks in the kitchen and it's more parties typically. So no, they don't all do that, and generally. Um, if they do assignments, they'll do the double close where you close, a day or two later. But typically they don't do one or the other. It's either all or none. It is becoming more and more scarce. Is probably the wrong word to use, but
Yes.
it's becoming harder to find companies that will do them.
Yes, I've noticed that as well here in Kansas City. Our market here. That there's some that are familiar with it, and there's some that aren't so familiar with it, and then there's some that won't do certain things, and some require extra documents to be signed by all three parties if it's an assignment. And what's a good way for a new wholesaler, obviously watching this broadcast, if you're looking or you need a good title company, which really can offer you a myriad of benefits to your business, but this is a good one. Dave runs a really good real estate investor friendly title company, and you'll not find a better man out there doing it than him. But if you're listening outside of this market, what's maybe something that these folks can do to find a good real estate investor friendly, wholesaler friendly, assignment double close friendly title company? Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, I mean, you could do the old-fashioned way of picking up the phone and calling. You'll get some people that I assume will just push back and say no. But another way to do it is go to your local investor meetups or your monthly meetings or wherever you have in your market, and just ask around. The power of networking is great. People will tell you go to this company or this person. They're great. They can help you. Um, Outside of just picking up a phone, I would say networking online, in online social media groups, or going to your meetings in your city or market is a great way to do it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they don't all have to do it by any
Mm-hmm.
means. It's a decision they make, and that's why it's good to, um, network with your peers, your colleagues, or even your competition. One thing I do here to make sure people are comfortable with us, because we're far from perfect, is I have them come in, especially the new wholesalers or investors, and say, let's sit around a table. Let me walk you through what to expect. Um, and if you have questions, by all means ask them.
Mm-hmm.
And that even if it's closing somewhere else, and you aren't sure if something's right or you have a question on something, just call. I mean, I'm not the type that won't help you even if you're not closing with us. That's just not in my DNA.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
but my biggest thing is just ask around. You're going to hear good
Yeah.
and bad, and really my suggestion for everyone
Yeah.
is not every personality or company is for everyone by any
Yeah.
means. So test the waters. Find someone you're comfortable with, someone that's accessible and responds to you timely, can get your deals
Yeah.
closed quickly. That's what would be my biggest suggestion.
Yeah. So if you're a new wholesaler and you don't have a relationship with a title company and you're in Kansas City, then you've got one now. But if you're outside of this market, then you really just need to. You're not reinventing the wheel. Somebody's out there doing this. You need to find the guy that's doing deals and ask him who he uses. And in Kansas City, when that conversation is being had, Dave's name always comes up. Dave, a new wholesaler outside of this market or even in this market, if they needed help getting or finding contracts that they could use to make offers or assignments, would you, as a title company, be able to provide those?
So we have some on hand. They're not documents we've drafted, and you know, we see a million different formats. And at the end of the day, I always tell people, go with what you're comfortable with. Read over what your documents are, to make sure the verbiage in there is what you want it to be. We have several different kinds we can give you. The internet's a powerful tool for that. Any sort of investment group typically has a contract that they like. We do see a lot of the same template come in, um, you know, but again, you have to make sure it's comfortable for what you want. And at the end of the day, if there's nothing that you quite like 100%, or you would like it to say something in particular, I would advise you to go see your real estate attorney. And I'm not trying to spend your money for you, but this is your business, and the livelihood. So make it how you want it, and go from there. My tip there would be make sure your contract has an assignable clause on it, so it
Right.
says between seller and buyer and or assigned.
Right.
Not that you can't fix that after the fact, but it's just one more thing that you have to have signed and maybe explain if it
Sure.
has a contentious party.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we make sure when we're wholesaling or planning on wholesaling a deal that we always have and or assigns or something to that reference that it's assignable. If not, it's tough to go back and you know re up that conversation. One last question, Dave, before I let you get out of here. I know you're a busy guy, but and then at the end of that, tell us a little bit more about Accurate, if you would, and give us the 30-second commercial if you've got one, man. I know I'm probably putting you on the spot, but
Sure.
what are some things that a wholesaler should do prior to or at the time of signing the contract with the seller? Questions or information they should get from the sellers that will help the title company do their work and close this deal up, efficiently and quickly and timely, because that's what we all want, right?
That's right. That's right. And that's a good question because we typically have, especially on the newbies, have to turn around and try to get more. So when you are out in the field signing a contract, some general tips that I kind of give people are not to put people in silos or buckets, but if you're dealing with an elderly person, man or woman, and they mentioned something, they've lived there 30 years, maybe asking up front, oh, were you married, and if so, is your spouse still alive? If not, why that's important is because different states have different requirements for deceased, and if they're in title, we may need their death certificate or we may need their information of death. So it's good to get that up front, so we're not having to keep kicking it back, or us bothering your sellers to try to get that information. So it's good if you're dealing with elderly, to maybe just ask, hey, were you married, or where's your spouse, type thing. Try to feel them out in a tactful way. Some other things
Good
that
advice.
we get or we request and will ultimately need are contact information. And I know that sounds basic, but I can't tell you how many times we don't get that.
Right. Right.
We need phone numbers. We need
I don't know how many times I've called a title company, not yours, but I've called other title companies and said, "Hey, how's this? Just checking in on this transaction. How's this going?" And they've told me, "Well, we don't know how to get a hold of the seller." And it's once I've heard that once or twice, I changed my method of operation, and so now, whenever I try to wholesale or assign a deal off, man, the contract goes into escrow with contact information
yeah, that's perfect.
for all parties.
Yeah, because we need that.
Yeah.
Even if it's split closing, we still need it, perhaps. So yeah, give us the phone number, date of birth, maybe the last four of social. Some people get a little hesitant about social, which I understand, but at least make it known that, hey, if you don't want to give it to me, that's okay. But if the title company may be calling you for the last four of your social, because we
Right.
may have to rule like tax liens or judgments or things like that. People get a little weary, but if you make it known up front that you may be able to expect a call, then usually things go off without a hitch. Some other things like around the Kansas City market are things to ask up front are if they say they bought it at a tax sale. I don't. I think there may be one company in town that can ensure that as is. We cannot without a court process, and that's getting pretty detailed, which I can discuss like a one-on-one type thing. But it's good to know that stuff up front because if it's not insurable as is, you don't want to waste your time or theirs. Not that they can't be, but it will require time and money. And really, I think that's about it. I mean, there's always going to be stuff that we run into, special nuances on a file by file basis, but we try to cross those bridges as we can. And you may have two files that look identical on the surface, but when it comes over to us, there may be things in that transaction that are different from one another. That maybe one deal works, one deal doesn't,
Yeah.
but you really don't know until you have a title company tear into it.
Right. Right. It pays to have a good relationship with a good title company. They have, Dave, you have been helpful to me on more than one occasion, and I am very thankful for that. And I'm also very thankful for you, spending some time and doing a little interview here on the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. You've answered a lot of questions with some really super good information, and it's one thing to hear it from me, my mentor students, but to hear it coming from an actual title company guy, that's I hope you don't mind me calling you the title company guy.
No,
Yeah. Well, any last thing you'd like to say? I'll let you sign off if you want, sir.
yeah, you bet. But like I said, Accurate Title is an investor-friendly title company. We work with all different shapes, sizes, different strategies. Not everything is insurable, or at least we can't insure it. But I'll tell you that we'll tell you that up front if we can't, and we'll tell you why. But we are more than happy to help. We try to win on customer service and get your deals closed quickly and efficiently and effectively. And again, our door's always open. So if you have questions, you don't want to go public and make it known, you just want to ask one-on-one because you're afraid to maybe ask a question in front of a group, call me, come in, whatever.
Yeah.
There's no commitment to using us. I'm happy to sit around or grab a cup of coffee with you, discuss what you're trying to do, how you're trying to get to your goals, and how we can help you. And that's, right. I think, having a title company in your pocket or your corner is a great resource to have.
Yeah, it was silly for me to be scared of trying to meet a title company or a closing attorney, or because I didn't have any information or knowledge of any of that. But you're right. You guys are nothing to be afraid of. In fact, the title company is, when you find a good one like Dave's, it's something to run to because they can really, really answer a lot of questions and help you solve problems and actually do deals that maybe you thought you couldn't do because of title issues or this and that and the other thing. So thank you very much, Dave Green, from Accurate Title, for coming in today. And I'll let you sign off, sir. But it's been great. Thanks. And anybody Absolutely. That needs a title company, please call Dave at Accurate Title. They will not mess your deals up. Okay, they will not drag them out and delay and be non-communicative. These folks are professionals, and they're very, very real estate investor friendly. So if you're in the market area and you want to connect up with them, Dave, is that okay?
Yeah, our phone number is 913-338-0100, and my email is dgreen, just like the color, at accuratetitle.co.com.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Dave. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Good to see you again, Justin.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. There it is, folks. Dave Green from Accurate Title. And we are very glad that he spent a little time with us today. Some interesting things he said. If you have questions about real estate transactions, the guy to call is a good title company guy like Dave, because he can fill in a lot of blanks and he can answer a lot of questions, and sometimes he can tell you how a deal is supposed to be put together, because he knows, he sees a lot of deals. Anyway, hey, thanks for joining us here today. I'm Justin Chamness with the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. Thanks for being so patient with me today. We had some technical issues getting it kicked off today, but we are syndicating to 10 different places on the internet, and two of the latest is Periscope TV and then Facebook, Real Estate Wholesalers Club in Kansas City group. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me right here in the local market. God bless you for that. Anything I can ever do for you, you please just let me know, because I'm right here for you. Nobody gets rich alone. Until next time, next Wednesday at noon, I will be right here on this group responding and commenting. Don't forget to like and share and tag. Let's get the word out, because some good things are happening right here. Bye-bye. Hey, you still here? Like, subscribe. Also, if you haven't checked us out over at the realestatewholesalerclub.com, take a minute and do that too.